G'day everybody, welcome back to Seawitch Tarot. So today I've got a very special reading for you. It is going to be a message from Nostradamus to you about what's coming next. So as you may have figured out, I am but a lowly sprout. So I'm not the great Nostradamus, but I am using the Lost Tarot of Nostradamus for this reading. And it is a fantastic deck. And so I'd love to share this with you. So I've got 3 cards for you to choose from. Just select the one that feels best to you, and I'll see you in a little while. Welcome back, Group 1. So if you picked this card, this is going to be Nostradamus's message for you about what's coming next. Now, let me just give you a quick explanation of how this particular tarot deck works, because it is rather special. So the book actually breaks down the system of what these symbols mean. So the suit of moons is actually the suit of cups in the Rider-Waite-Smith tarot. But how this system works is that there's 4 lines, a quatrain, and then there's a couplet that is selected from this quatrain that needs to be given or stated before the actual explanation of the card comes forth. So just in case it elicits some sort of artistic inspiration. And sometimes, you know how songs speak better to us in some circumstances than like a conversation even. So this is, I think, what it is designed for. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to read the couplet to you. So maybe you can get some sort of epiphany or inspiration from this. I don't know. But here it goes. This is your choices, your card's couplet. Forgeries of gold and silver multiply, so that after their seizure, they are thrown in the lake. Okay. I don't know whether that inspired anything in you, but that's the couplet for this card. Sorry, my things are falling off the table. Okay, so this is the traditional 4 of Cups. And so you can see the passage of time through the moon phases, and that's what it's supposed to represent. So 3 phases of the lunar cycle. You can see that from this kind of dragon-like creature, this person is represented to have climbed the top of their career, their industry, or whatever thing that you have embarked on. Maybe you've already kind of reached almost the end of the journey, or at least the highest point that you can reach, because traditionally planting a flag is indicative of having conquered something. So that's the energy that we are getting from here, okay, from this basic card. So what is next? What I personally want to do is give you maybe a place of some sort that maybe this connects to, or maybe the future destination of after this phase, depending on what reading we're going to get, which I don't know. Okay, so now I'm going to move away this tarot, and I'm going to try to get, maybe a place or a few places that can possibly give you some idea of where you are or what the future holds. Okay, so I'm going to divide this now into 2 piles. And this first pile, I'm going to ask, where are you now? Okay, oops, that one just came out. Okay, so, all right, so where are you now? Where are you now? Where is Group 1 now? Okay, so right now, damp and rainy realm. Well, that kind of makes sense. Dampness is basically emotions which are kind of like not here nor there kind of feeling, because water represents emotions. So something like a waterfall is a very powerful feeling. Seas and oceans are very deep feelings. But in this case, if it's something damp, it means stagnation. So it only confirms what we already have from the card. Okay, so where's a future destination? Where is a future destination? That one didn't come out. Where is a future destination for group 1? Where is a possible future? Oh, they're all coming out like this. Hey, maybe I should take it. A post office. Okay, well, there you go. Okay, mail delivery, correspondence, package and tracking. Okay, obviously, you don't actually have to go to the post office. Clearly, there's a message coming for you. Okay, so right now, your emotions are kind of stagnant and a message is coming through. That's pretty much what it means. Now we're going to use the tarot to maybe delve deeply into the story which is causing your stagnation at the moment. And then hopefully Nostradamus will tell you what to do for your future. Okay. And you see, what makes it more unusual is that it kind of looks like a Christmas type oh, there we go. Message 2. Oh, okay. So things are coming to a change. They will change. Because you got the Tower card here. Now you can see it says diving. Okay, diving under the waves. Oh, diving under the waves. Dampness. A tail. Well, there's an adventure here, isn't it? So what's going to be the breaking moment of this is a new journey. So it could be like soul journey where you examine a particular shadow, because what we were just talking about, like oceans and seas being deep, and now you've got this Tower card but with this diving suit on. So it looks like some sort of going inwards journey. Okay, but let's go. Oh, okay. You're overworked. You're definitely overworked. Oh, okay. Yeah. Can we fit one more? Is this blocking you? Yeah, we can fit one more. Oh! Resonance, resonance. 4 of Cups. Oh, okay. There we go. Right now, yeah, you do need to, if you're currently now at work, you are really trying to balance things out. This is the Strength card, and it does look like some sort of like diving apparatus, but it also, you know what this reminds me of? You know how back in the times when there was a plague going on, and people wore that beaked mask to put herbs at the beak end, but basically to stop the disease from spreading, like, or the virus from getting into the quote-unquote healer. You know, that beak kind of thing. This reminds me of that. But yep, so this is using, maybe exercising patience to get to the root of the problem, because right now, yeah, it's kind of difficult to move when you are in this gear. So the strength lies in you having to maneuver yourself under quite difficult conditions. And I think it's related to work, because the 8 of Pentacles traditionally means hard at work, but then you feel kind of like dull at the moment, or bored, or okay, oops, okay, let me just cover that, because okay, let me cover that. Okay, but she's kind of like, you can see a little bit of nudity, so I must put my finger over there. But this is the traditional Devil card. Okay, let me just put a little dice here. And then, oh, Are bottoms okay? Maybe bottoms are also not okay. So let me put this. Okay, but we need a message here. Because the Princess of Pentacles is basically the page. There's some message, probably money or opportunity message coming through. Oh, the bottom of the deck. Isn't that wonderful? I have 3 eyes. 1 to look. No, sorry, 2 to look. 1 to see. Whoa, that's deep. That is really deep. Okay, so let's get a message because we have the page here. Okay, dear Princess of Pentacles, what message do you have for group 1? Oh, this is beautiful. Can you see this image? Glorious. The future. Plan for the future while living in the present. You are always supported by spirit. Your psychic abilities can bring you prosperity. Oh, everything is falling into place. Okay, so clearly you are very good at what you do, and maybe you've been doing it for quite some time now because the passage of time is represented by this Nostradamus card. So from Nostradamus's point of view, once you reach the top, there is a sense of boredom or melancholy. And even if you reflect back, because specifically this is what Nostradamus says, there could be an element of self-loathing simply because to get to the top, maybe there was compromise somewhere along the way. And it doesn't have to be malicious, like compromises that we've made. It doesn't have to be unethical, but maybe things like, for example, choosing work over family, missing out on, like milestones if you have children, milestones in which, in your kids' development. Maybe there were compromises made to expressing certain events which were important in your relationship, like family relationships and partners, for example, missing anniversaries, birthdays. So it could be compromises of that nature that can lead to quote unquote self-loathing, which just means you feel as though you've just given too much, like you've paid too much to get where you are. Like, so, or just malaise, just boredom. But you are at a position that is rather enviable from the outside, but inside there is like a feeling that maybe, is this all? Okay, so a message is going to come through. Mail delivery, written correspondence, package tracking. But my guess is you're going to receive some sort of mail, maybe a gift, because it looks like a Christmas card, but maybe an unexpected gift to lift you out of this current emotional stagnation, which you currently seem to be in. Okay, now this period of dampness or emotional stagnation is designed for you to have some sort of release from the mundane 9 to 5 job or system that you are currently in. And part of that requires you to maybe analyze your feelings. This current boredom, ennui that you feel is maybe a sign for you to go deeper into why you are feeling this way. Because ostensibly all we want is success, to be at the top. So once you've reached that position and you're not feeling happy, you've got to delve deeper on the whys. Right now, it seems as though, yes, you are working very hard. You're working very, very hard on something that you've done for a long time, because now it's requiring strength to perform. This card by itself actually denotes good craftsmanship and being hard at work, but it is coupled with the strength, which means you are reaching your limit and you have to push yourself to attend. You have to push yourself to be present. So it's become more and more of a challenge. Maybe this stage in your life has already or will be reaching completion. It's very good, actually. It's what you set out to do and you've pretty much done it. But now you want to put on a different pair of wings. You want to see things from a different perspective. This frame that you can see, it's kind of like a kind of steel. It looks very, very antiquish and old. And maybe at that time, tradition fueled you to take this particular path, this particular job, because maybe society would have applauded you. So you felt society would applaud you for doing this. But can you see this beautiful vermilion background? This appears to be a world that is drastically different to this butterfly rest that is flying in kind of maybe like a really bland background being framed in a very kind of traditional antiquish or old frame. And so together it forms like a black and white formation, but she's got beautiful colorful wings which matches the vermilion background. So you're trying to break out, you're trying to see what else the world has to offer you. And this is where your catch-22 comes in, because if you can see, it seems as though she's looking at like this maybe market of some sort with lots of delicious apples. This, I think, is the depiction of Eve, right? So now you must make a choice to eat the apple or not. So if you do choose to eat the apple, which is stepping outside of this framing that you have lived under or in for quite some time, and step out to that vermilion patch, it means you're probably going to have to forfeit something. One being the innocence and the relationship Eve has with Adam. I think this is Adam, right? And so what that means is the current relationships that you've forged at the beginning of this journey, some of it may have the chance of being broken, simply because when you change, and if others are not ready to follow that change, usually that causes a disruption. So right now, or in the very near future, when this situation starts appearing more and more, you wanting to leave your current box and go out to the big wide world, you have to make the choice to either eat the fruit of broadening your horizons or staying safe in a familiar surrounding in which you really are successful in. So I think in this, if you stuck with the status quo, there's actually nothing wrong, because it would appear normal and great on everybody's books. People around you wouldn't have any problems with that. I think this is like an inner journey where you feel maybe a little bit stuck. So once again, we see the Four of Cups being represented here in contrast to Nostradamus's message for you. So this Four of Cups is keeping you in this box, in this frame, and hence this boredom will continue. But underlying this, the message I think that you're going to receive from this quote-unquote post office, this next destination, is this message from the Princess of Pentacles, which is planned for the future while you're living in the present. So remember how I said you wanting to leave the current situation, but then thinking, should you take that temptation? So should Eve take one apple from this devil's cart, right? So now you're maybe flipping back and forth. However, the advice here from dear Nostradamus is just start planning now. And maybe through intuition, because the message is actually your psychic abilities can bring you prosperity. And at the bottom of the deck, we've got the Hierophant, right? So it says, I have 3 eyes, 2 to look, 1 to see. So it seems as though if you haven't had this sixth sense kick in, it's going to kick in quite soon. Okay, so it looks like what you should do is already in the realm of your mind's eye. And you kind of have an inkling on what you actually want to do and should do. So you already understand this. I think something will come for you to make that moment click. I think that's all there is. Because it seems as though you've already got this, like, you've already got this kind of sorted out in your own mind, but you're waiting for that extra little piece, maybe from like destiny, to provide you that okay, go ahead sign. And that's gonna come via a letter or via a gift of some sort to spurn your kind of inner plan to manifest outwardly. So I think what Nostradamus is telling you is that change is coming very, very soon. You're going to get confirmation for what you are now feeling inside your heart or inner mind realm. Okay, so that's all I have for you, and that's all Nostradamus has for you too. So thank you very much for allowing us to read for you. And I look forward to seeing you again in the future. Bye. Welcome back, Group 2. So before we start, let me just briefly explain how this particular tarot works. So this is the Lost Art of Nostradamus, and for each card, it's got a different system from the Rider-Waite-Smith version of tarot. And as such, preceding the card, there is a couplet taken from a quatrain, which just means from a Nostradamus verse, like 2 parts of it are taken to basically give the card the Nostradamus touch, if you will. So before we commence with the actual reading, let me read from the book directly, maybe so you can get inspired by this message, and maybe you'll have an epiphany of some sort from the great Nostradamus. Okay, the sun and the eagle will minister. Sorry, I just butchered your inspiration. Okay, take 2. Okay. The sun and the eagle will minister to the victor. The vanquished are allayed by futile assurances. Okay, so the sun suit in the Nostradamus deck is akin to the wand's energy. So the normal wand that we normally associate, you know, the rod of Aaron, the stick with the flowers sticking out, or, you know, the rod of Moses, staff of Moses, it is replaced by the same idea here. So, and the sun, of course, represents fire. But according to this Nostradamus deck, this is a sure win to begin. There's no failures here. That's what the book actually says. So whatever new path that you're thinking of embarking on, it's a double thumbs up from Nostradamus interpreters. So yeah, whatever you have in mind, this is pretty much the universe's sign for you to just do it. But before you actually switch off this video and start embarking on that magical journey, let's see what we have for you today. Now, this is my idea for the reading. I'm going to take a look at 2 places. The first one being where you currently are at, and the second is where you are going. So I'm going to split this place oracle into 2 different parts. One is going to be where you are at the moment. Okay, so please tell me where group 2 is currently at. Please tell me where group 2 is currently at. Okay, where is... Oh, luxury boutique, dazzling gems, precious metals, handcrafted masterpieces, and bespoke luxury. Okay, so, I mean, this is just a symbol of where you are at the moment. So, one, you could be working at a jewelry store, jewelers, anything to do with handling of gold, silver, palladium, platinum, an antique store, but basically selling high item things. Or maybe you've come into possession of a high item or highly valued. Oh, well, they just dropped. Where will you be? Okay, train, subway, railway. Okay, inspiration tells me to draw another card along with this, because this seems more symbolic than anything else. Like, I don't think your destination is just to hop on a train. Maybe you're thinking of doing long distance travel. So if you're in a country that has high speed rail, Europe and Asia, then you could maybe be traveling high speed rail to another province or state or prefecture. Scorching lands, blazing sun, arid deserts, searing heat, and parched earth. Okay, hot place. Okay, now this is getting strange. Now I'm really intrigued. Where is this going? No, better put it here. Okay. All right, so now let's ask Tarot to tell us a story. Where is this going? Where is this going? From a luxury boutique, you're transitioning to a very hot place. Are you switching continents maybe? Okay, please tell me, what is group 2's? Okay, so first, wait. I've got to cover some parts because this is YouTube. Wait, let me just put... Okay, because we can see top half of female nudity. So I'm going to blank that out. Okay, I think this is going to be a curly one. So give me some time. Okay, so... Justice, and what else? Okay, what is the story with group 2? What is the story with group 2? What is the story with group 2, please? Okay, Princess of Swords, so that's the Page of Swords. We need to get a message card. And let's see if we can fit one more in. Yeah. And maybe we'll just keep this at the bottom of the deck. Oh, Judgment and Justice. Whoa, okay. Oh, let me get a message card first. The Princess of Swords. Okay. What's the message from the Princess of Swords, please? Okay, what's the message from the Princess of Swords? What's the message? Oh, 2 messages. Okay. 2 cards came flying out. Okay, 1 is authority. Clashes with the boss or a challenge to your power will compel you to respond. Choose peaceful solutions if you can. And can you see this princess get-up thing? Luxury boutique. Okay, next card is influence. Use your influence for change. You may do public speaking, social videos, or interviews. Your voice and opinions are important. Whoa, what's going on? Okay, what's going on here? Oh, let me just put this to the side, the messages. Okay. It looks like right now you're in the laps of luxury at the moment, but you're heading towards something. Okay. I think this reading will span over a longer time period, and it looks like you're maybe at the cusp of having a challenge come through, but Nostradamus is telling you to move forth and do something from this particular challenge. Now, what I mean by that is currently it seems as though things are good. So you're in a surrounding that is relatively high end, the high end of life. So what I mean by that, what I said before, like, you know, like working at a jeweler, etc. But you could also be in the celebrity world. Maybe you're a PA to Blake Lively. Sorry. But yeah, you could be like a personal assistant. You could be like a hairstylist to the rich and famous, or the high-end pompous, the society higher ups, or you could just be working for somebody who has wealth and power. And now it seems as though you're heading towards some sort of tension within this employment or within this relationship, and there will be justice. Justice has to be served. So in this particular situation here right now, it seems as though you are definitely, you feel that you're stuck or caught up in something. Like you feel as though, you're basically stuck between a rock and a hard place. However, there is somebody or someone higher up looking out for you that can give you guidance, because there's another, can you see this card? Can you see this little echidna type of animal? And it looks like it's a satyr of some sort. Yeah, because it's got little goat legs. So it looks as though the whimsical satyr is standing outside. Well, okay. So this kind of mythical creature energy, the centaurs and the satyrs, they have a very whimsical, impish aura. So when they help, they can really help. And when they don't, they tend to be kind of inebriated and enjoying the fun side in life. So at the moment, there could be an element of somebody in your life who, if they were to become your aid, will greatly help you. However, you haven't really recruited them over to your side, or they haven't decided to join your campaign. So right now, the situation, perilous though it may seem to you at the moment, also depends on this other character that's hovering around you. So if that person does come to your side of the equation, then basically the scoreboard is going to be rewritten. And so the message that we're having from this Princess of Swords is the advice is clashes with the authority will compel you to respond. So choose a peaceful solution. At this stage, it is advising you to not go head to head, okay? Because you still are in balancing mode. So if you have to choose between going head to head with this higher authority or completely backing down, maybe out of two choices, you always choose the third option, which is maybe explain your point of view, but in a way that is accommodating to the current status quo, because that can, how hard you go actually depends on how financially stable you are outside of this job, this gig, this contract, this whatever. So this is like a true story. But back a few years ago, I had huge professional differences with my company, and I had been working for this company for quite some time, but then I had a huge clash with PR and the people who were leading my particular department. But at that time, I was in a position to strongly vocalize my opinion, but I don't advocate for that if you are not in a financially viable situation to do so. So over here, we've got two choices, and that's what the Princess of Swords is advising. If you think you have to either go hard or go home, that's not the only choices you have. You can choose to assert yourself in a mature way, just to let this higher up know, this higher authority, that there are certain things you won't stand for, but you do realize maybe work is challenging at the moment, or people have to buckle down, but you are still uncomfortable, or elements of the work make you feel uncomfortable, etc. Okay, so whatever your situation is. The judgment of that will come. And also, by the way, it looks like further on down, this element, the hoverer, the person who can come to your side depending on the whim, may actually join you, because you've got the Three of Cups here. So after you take this Princess of Swords advice, you've got the Three of Cups directly underlying this, which means if you do choose to use the middle way, this hoverer will probably join you. So the judgment that you make here, okay, what you choose to do in this particular situation will determine the justice or the outcome that is finally dispensed. Now, the thing is, this card here, the second advice is influence. Use your influence for change. You may do public speaking, social videos, or interviews, voice opinions, blah, blah, blah. So I'm guessing if you do resolve this in a way, if you make this correct judgment, right? So you pick the middle ground, maybe through a longer time frame, this scorched land or the eventual huge conflict is still going to come about anyway. However, by that time, you would have collected ample evidence, and maybe you would have done the right legal, or followed the right legal procedures to handle this in a better way. So my guess is the Nostradamus reading would be, at this stage, choose to vocalize your opinion, because the worst thing you want to do is just keep it all bottled up and then suddenly have this explosion, which is not necessary, and it'll come out of the blue. However, if you have documentation of having confronted this authority, made a formal complaint, if you will, or some sort of procedure that you've already undertaken to tell this authority what is happening at the moment is not okay with you. However, you do understand that there are some things that do require some rule bending at certain stages in the development, but you're not necessarily comfortable. And if you have a record of this, eventually when you do reach this scorched land, because right now it seems that it seems as though you're in the transitionary phase, because this train, okay, there's movement here. This is a movement card, and you're finally reaching this particular destination with this particular destination. So from the boutique to the scorched lands with this intermediary process of transition. So here is maybe evidence gathering time. Now, my guess is, I don't know what your predicament really is, but if you are to become a whistleblower, what is this? Where is this reading going? Okay, so if you are planning to do the social rounds eventually with this, you will need evidence anyway. So it's not just your word against this other authority's words. It says your voice and opinions are important. My guess is, whatever this situation is, you're basically the sign of the times, or you would be part of that batch, the canary in the coal mine. So this is like way back now. Okay, so this is way back. Do you remember when Megan Fox finished the first Transformers and she was going on and on about Michael Bay? And then at that time, everybody said she was ungrateful, including, I think, Martin Scorsese. And but finally, the Me Too thing really started, and then we heard about the Harvey Weinstein. So she was basically, Megan Fox was the canary in the coal mine. But at that time, her message wasn't really powerful. And I think because she appeared very sexual as well, so it kind of compounded what she was saying versus the image that she was projecting. But what it looks like here is, if your issue is going to end up doing the socials, then maybe you're either the canary in the coal mine, the initiator of this particular topic, or you're going to be joining a particular batch, the like people who have already jumped onto this train that are moving towards this issue. Okay, but irrespective, Nostradamus is telling you, you can't fail. Like, if you choose to continue to work, gather evidence, but not go against the authority directly, like a full frontal right now, things are going to work in your favor eventually. Whoa, this was intense, wasn't it? Okay, well, as always, thank you very much for letting me read for you, and I look forward to doing more of these scintillating readings in the future. But anyway, take care. Whatever situation you are in, please don't worry, because life has your back. We are just living this experience because we're given this opportunity to experience this realm of emotions. So whatever you are going through, ultimately it is for a good reason, and that reason is life. Okay, so catch you later. Bye. Welcome back, group 3. So if you chose this card, then this is Nostradamus's message for what's coming next for you. But before I move on to the explanation, let me just give you a brief overall about how this deck works, okay? Nostradamus's deck has its own suits, and this moon suit is akin to the cups suit in the Rider-Waite-Smith. And this initiate is the same as the knight, okay? Now, Nostradamus's deck is divided into quatrains, and each quatrain will have a couplet, which is basically a two-liner, to give inspiration to this particular card meaning. So I would like to read the couplet for your card first, so maybe this can inspire your own thoughts and own interpretation. Okay, so here we go. The Initiate of Moons. The new philosopher of single mind has already perceived the moon in the depths of night on a high mountain. Okay, so take that how you will. I got the first line, didn't really understand the second. Okay, so what this card represents, it's kind of like Johann Kepler's energy, where he foresaw the bigger truth compared to what was believed at his particular time frame and his particular society. So he embarked on this journey on finding this higher truth. And so he had a lot of calculations based on how our universe works. And then he came up with his own theory that was later on proved to be correct by others. And so it is a card rooted in idealism and taking forth that idea and convincing others about this great plan. Okay, so that's what I have for the actual card, and I'll build it up as we go along. Now, the idea for this reading now is I'm going to find two places. One being the first place, which is where you currently are at. And then the second place is where you are moving towards. So I'm going to use a place oracle for this part, and I'm going to divide it into two. Okay, so we can see where you are. Let's hope I can get it kind of in half. Okay, so this first pile now will decide where you are currently. Okay, so please tell me, where is group 3 currently? Where is group 3 currently? Please tell me, where is group 3 at the moment? Oh, two cards again. Grassland and swimming pool. Open expanse, grazing ground, sunlit grass, sunbathing, tanning. Ooh. It looks like you're in a very nice environment. Okay, so if this is not the actual place, symbolically, it means you're in a very jovial mood, you're happy, because it's like this water is in a body that is traditionally for entertainment and fun. So emotionally, you could be in a nice place. Okay. Where are they going? Where is group 3 going? Where is group 3 going? Jail. Okay, don't switch off. Don't switch off. Don't switch off. Okay, let's think about this. Okay, let's think about this. Okay. I will tell you truthfully what happened with this particular reading. I already did part 1, or I tried to film this before. The exact same card came out for where you are going. And where you are had a similar ring to it. Okay, so clearly this is not a mistake, because this deck had been shuffled, reshuffled, and I shuffled once again on camera. Okay, now I'm going to say the same thing that I said the first time, because I was afraid that people would misinterpret this. This jail is not literally a prison. Of course, in that kind of rare chance, it can be the actual cold house, but generally that's not the meaning. It is a period of temporary isolation, and if you look at what has been happening now currently, it puts this this destination into like more of a context. It looks like what is happening right now is that there's a lot of fun. Like it's like a party life here, and your mind is quite open at the moment. So maybe you are in a very fluid group. So maybe you're changing groups, changing friends, changing connections, networking with many, many different people all the time. So it could be overexposure of some sort in a particular area in your life. Now, what jail actually is a time of seclusion where you are by yourself mainly. At least that's the design of it, where you have time to reflect on what you've done and what you're planning to do, etc. So it's pretty much downtime, and it's where justice and punishment can be dispensed, but justice being the focal word. Sometimes when we are really caught up in a group, you know how group dynamics like alter a person completely, right? How you are alone versus how you are in a group. Basically, sometimes we've got like a Jekyll Hyde persona thing going on with us, and people don't even know who we are, like socially, versus meeting us on a one-to-one basis. I mean, celebrity life is constantly caught in this kind of whirlwind, right? So who they are behind closed doors versus who they are publicly are completely different. So my guess is that right now, this idealism, this idealistic energy that is coming forth, what Nostradamus is telling you to do is this, either one aspect of yourself that you've kept hidden, or an aspect of yourself that needs to be discovered, is the next move that is going to come forth. And hence, you've got this need to pursue a higher truth of some sort. Okay, but let's move on with the tarot. What is group 3? What is happening in this situation? Why is the initiate coming forth to tell group 3 a message? What is the message of this initiate? Okay. Yep. Things are definitely a changing, and you've got all the brain mass here. Okay, we need a message because Princess is akin to the Page. Queen of Wands. Oh, underline. Okay. And what's at the bottom of the deck is the Hangman. Yep, time out, jail. Okay. Okay, so let's get the message for the Princess of Wands. Okay, so what does the Princess of Wands want group 3 to know? And because we've got this scary jail card, I'm going to get maybe more than one piece of advice. What does the Princess of Wands want group 3 to know? What does the Princess of Wands want group 3 to know? Okay, let's get another. Okay. What does the Princess of Wands want group 3 to know? Okay, what does the Princess of Wands want group 3 to know? Beautiful. Okay. The first message, good luck. Your fortune is improving and you will get a lucky break soon. Collect nuggets of wisdom. You will need them in the near future. Detach. You're being asked to detach from something that you've been holding on to. When we hold on too tightly to the desired outcome, it restricts the flow. Trust that the outcome will work out and just let go of your attachment to it. Okay, so that's the message from our Princess of Wands. So, like I said, where you currently are at the moment, it is a good emotional state, being that there's a lot of emotions involved. Now, traditionally, the Two of Cups has more or less the cups being upright. So, you know, like you can cheers or you can share it. But if you take a look at this cup formation, how can you really share the libations when it's done this way? You really can't. So either one cup is being completely emptied and the other is overflowing. So there's an imbalance here, even though there is a lot of maybe good feelings here, but the good feelings can be zapped away if one cup continuously gives and then the other cup can no longer receive, but is forced to take on this emotional load. There is going to be a change in the way that you're perceiving reality and the way that you're perceiving this jail or lone time. So this is what I said before, right? This isn't really incarceration. This isn't real prison. This is the ability to be quiet with yourself, because your current life, it seems to be like a whirlpool of excitement. This lone time now in your mind is going to change to be one that is beneficial. Whereas traditionally, maybe you thought being alone was the biggest bane that you could ever experience. That if you didn't have like a pumping social life, if you weren't swiping this way, that way, and like meeting like 1 billion people in 3 seconds, then it wasn't worth living. You know, the old adage of go hard or go home. Now you're taking a new point of view that maybe silence is a necessary part of life to reconfigure things. And here is when you're going to get the inspiration or the new idea or ideal life that you should be pursuing. And that's why Nostradamus is giving you the go ahead to pursue this more, maybe calmer and more idealistic way of living. Okay, right now, it seems as though the message that you're getting is coming from a source of maybe childhood. When you were maybe younger, I'm talking about a different time frame, because if you take a look at the Queen of Wands, the Passion is here. You have a particular memory of maybe your mum, okay? So like a very nurturing feeling that you used to receive regularly. But this feeling is locked in a nostalgic embrace that maybe wasn't fully reflective of exactly how things were, but how you wanted to remember them. And so for forever, this is held in some sort of ideal. So it's a time capsule that has locked away this particular moment in your life as a forever memory. And hence, you're always trying to find this in your adult life now. And hence, this continuous social engagement and these two cups that are not equally full, but one keeps pouring onto the other. The good news is that this searching, this longing is going to reach an end cycle. I mean, it will. And when it reaches this end cycle, you are going to find a new form of happiness, because this Princess of Swords, Princess of Wands, which is the page that gave you this advice, what it looks like, I'm having mood lighting in here, so it's kind of like getting dark. It's already maybe 6 p.m. here. So it looks as though she's on a lone course looking for something. She's searching for something. And the thing that she's searching for, notice how they're all looking towards this way, can only be found when she's alone. Not when there's so much excitement. But the memory that she has is locked up in this particular vault that is pristine and perfect. And she's trying to recapture that in an environment which is super exciting, technicolor environment. So that's not going to be able to be achieved until she becomes quiet and goes basically within herself and examine the factors which has created this thing that she can't let go. Now, why can't you let go is something that I do know. Sorry, I don't know. I mean, how could I possibly know? But it is asking you to detach. And at the bottom of the deck here, we've got the Hangman, which means right now, these are bats in a cave, right? They get nourishment in darkness. And bats are the only animals that can synthesize vitamin C, by the way, because usually bats and guinea pigs. But you wouldn't think that because they're always in the dark, and, you know, and vitamin C generally is seen to be like photosynthesis and, you know, that kind of, but they're able to, their bodies naturally are able to produce this very, very important vitamin. So now it is asking you to remain quiet and in, okay, not literal darkness, figurative darkness, to get this kind of nutrition which you've always had inside you. Now, my guess is, just by looking at this, and it says, good luck, things are improving and you'll get a lucky break soon. I think this attachment to this past memory, the security that you felt at that particular time, is the reason for maybe why you can't let go of the excitement, because you're trying to recreate that stability. I mean, that's just psychology 101. But what is this attachment? If I may, let me get like a maybe shadow deck, and let's see, like a maybe like an inner child thing, to see if there's any shadows. Just wait. Okay, so now I've got the Lantern Oracle. So this is a hard-hitting deck. It's a hard-hitting shadow deck. Let me see if anything, if any messages will come through this. Okay, so what's the shadow of group 3? What's the shadow? Is there a shadow aspect? If there is, please come forth with the message. Is there a shadow with group 3? Is there a shadow we should know about or can know about? Okay, maybe not with this one. Okay, now this is the Inner Child Oracle. So if it's connected to a childhood issue, we could probably get a glimpse of that. So is there a shadow in group 3's childhood that needs to be addressed? Is this an inner child issue? Not full. Okay, last try. Are we permitted to know group 3's issue from childhood? Is there a shadow? Okay, today is the day. It is time to begin the journey. Yeah, okay. So there's no avoiding it. Yeah, you're going to have to take that walk down. I mean, you can see that there are little stuffed toys here. So maybe when this time ended, this time of perfection in your mind ended, you weren't able to enjoy the childhood imagination of having all those special friends that each child naturally does have. So for example, if you take a look at her, she's in old garb, like whatever century old garb, but these are very modern little toys, and they're kind of stuffed toys. So maybe after this particular moment, you weren't able to really live the life of a child. And now it is asking you to go back and take a journey and walk back and maybe find elements that can not replace, but at least give you the feeling of what you missed. Okay, now I'm going to say something about myself. One reason why I'm doing this reading is also because I'll save the good story for some other time. But as a kid, I didn't know how to play with toys. And that's not because my parents didn't allow toys. They got toys for my siblings and I. But I didn't know how to play with toys because my imagination was never evoked. And so I could never see that world that kids see. And a few years ago, I had a dark night of the soul experience. And for the first time, things began to awaken because of that. And so I did astrology to begin with. And then I gradually moved to cards and moved towards like tarot reading. And I just understood from this experience that this tarot is not given to me to do anything except to relive my childhood, because that imagination that I should have had as a child was not there. And by reading tarot, it is allowing me to paint pictures and stories like a child again. And so that's what I mean. This is maybe the same thing for you. This jail is not the prison. It is the time of quiet that allows you to make the connection with this longing for that perfect moment to recapture and why. And so you can redesign. Nostradamus's message for you is to redesign this moment of perfection in your life as an adult. Okay. Another intense reading. Group 2's was also intense. Anyway, that's all I have for you. Thank you very much, as always, for allowing me to read for you. And I hope you do manage to navigate this challenging or exciting, actually, time in your life, because you get to reprogram yourself, you get to redesign your reality and your definition of happiness through an adult lens. And for that, I think fairy claps all round. Okay, I look forward to seeing you again. Bye.